In the American Mafia, there is an old saying, "You live by the sword, you die by the sword." Almost every major boss in history met a violent end or died rotting in a prison cell. Except one, Carlo Gambino, the man who sat at the very top of the underworld for 20 years. He didn't flash his money. He didn't talk to the press. And while his rivals were getting gunned down in the streets, Gambino was quietly building an empire that controlled New York City. He is the model for the Godfather, and he is the only one who truly won the game. To understand the end, we have to look at the beginning. Carlo Gambino wasn't born in New York. He was born in Palermo, Sicily, in 1902. He didn't just join the Mafia. He was born into it. His family was part of the honored society back in the old country. At 19, he entered the United States illegally as a stowaway on a cargo ship. He was a small man, bird-like, with a large nose and a quiet voice. People underestimated him. That was his greatest weapon. He arrived right at the dawn of Prohibition. While the mustache Petes, the old traditional bosses, were fighting over petty feuds, Gambino aligned himself with the young Turks. Men like Lucky Luciano who wanted to run crime like a Fortune 500 company. They saw the big picture, and so did Carlo. He was smart, patient, and he knew how to play the long game. While others chased fame and headlines, Gambino quietly built his network, making powerful friends and learning the intricacies of the American criminal landscape. He wasn't the toughest guy in the room, but he was always the smartest. By the 1950s, Gambino was the underboss to one of the most feared men in history, Albert Anastasia, the Lord High Executioner of Murder, Inc., the Mafia's enforcement arm. Anastasia was loud, violent, and drawing too much heat. He was a walking time bomb. He even started selling memberships to the Mafia to raise cash, a huge violation of their sacred code. The other families were nervous, and they had every right to be. Anastasia's unpredictable nature threatened the stability of the entire enterprise. Gambino saw an opportunity. He realized that for the organization to survive, the mad dog had to be put down. So, he made a move. On October 25, 1957, at the Park Sheraton Hotel, Anastasia was relaxing in a barber's chair with a hot towel over his face. Two men rushed in. They didn't just shoot him, they shattered the mirror in front of him. A symbolic message. It was the end of the era of brutal, senseless violence, and the beginning of the era of Gambino. The quiet Don had taken the throne without firing a shot himself. With Anastasia gone, Carlo Gambino took the throne. But he ruled differently. He was the CEO of crime, not a street thug. He instituted strict rules. Rule 1: no drugs. The sentences were too long, and he knew men would snitch to avoid them. He understood that narcotics brought in too much federal attention and turned reliable men into informants. Rule 2: lay low. Don't be flashy. Don't draw attention. He didn't live in a mansion. He lived in a modest row house in Brooklyn. The FBI would surveil him, and they'd just see an old man in a sweater sitting on his stoop, watering his plants. But from that stoop, he controlled the labor unions, the construction industry, and the waterfront. If you bought a suit in New York City or built a skyscraper, or unloaded cargo at the docks, a piece of that money went to Carlo. His influence was everywhere, yet he himself was practically invisible. He was so elusive that in a 50-year career of high-level crime, he spent only 22 months in prison. A staggering feat for a man who ran the most powerful criminal organization in the country. By the 1970s, the government was desperate. They couldn't convict him, so they tried everything to deport him. But Gambino played his final card, his health. For years, he delayed trials by claiming he had a bad heart. His doctors, likely on his payroll, would confirm that the stress of a trial could be fatal. He used the government's own legal system against them, tying them up in endless delays and appeals. Then, on October 15, 1976, Carlo Gambino did the impossible. He died of natural causes. In his own bed, watching the Yankees game on television, he left behind a massive empire, though his decision to appoint his brother-in-law Paul Castellano as his successor would eventually tear it apart, leading to the rise of John Gotti. But that is a story for another time. For his part, Carlo Gambino proved that in a world of wolves, the fox is the most dangerous animal of all. He outsmarted them all and died a free man. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button and subscribe for more of history's darkest stories. And let me know in the comments, was Gambino a genius or just lucky? I'll see you in the next one.